Hey you guys, welcome to another episode of the Soldier and Me podcast. I'm your host, Tania Michelle, first time mama, learning, adjusting, and still figuring it out. Let's talk today. Welcome to another episode of the Soldier and Me podcast. I'm your host, Tania Michelle, where the Soldier and Me hopes to bring out the soldier in you. Guys, we have a lot to talk about today, a lot of updates because I know it's been a minute. I've fallen off for a couple of Mondays, but I'm back. A lot is going on. We're still in the process of moving and getting things straight. We have to be out of that rental property, that rental home that we had August 29th. At the time that I'm recording this, it's August 18th. So that means we're getting close and we have to get out. Everything has to be touched up, repainted, fixed up so that we can get our deposit back because I will be getting my deposit back. Clock it. If you hear noise in the background, we have a lot going on. Peter and Talene shutting doors in and out the room. Mocha's pacing the floor, wanting me to play with her. Major has been whining in his cage. I have the fans on, the dryer's going, the washing machine's going. So sorry, I lost my mic. We don't have any sound isolation in this video. So if you just want to hear what's going on and get advice, then you're in the right place. But if you don't want to hear the background noise, then you gotta go because there's gonna be background noise. I guarantee you it. And I'm not gonna waste my time editing it out. I'm currently drinking a homemade chai tea latte. It is so good. I did a couple pumps of vanilla, some chai, and some oat milk. Okay, I'm not gonna drink this all and waste my time. I need to get this video done. As you can see, just got off work. This is usually when I record these episodes because my makeup is still done. And I look decent. I look presentable. I'd still record these even if I didn't have makeup on, but this is just the time that I can get this done in time for you guys to have an episode on Monday, which is today. So if you're watching on a Monday, I hope you are excited about the week. A new week is about to be in store. And today I want to talk about how losing friendships, losing support, losing people doesn't derail your success unless you let it. But before we talk about today's episode, I really want to go back to all the things that you guys have missed out on in my life. Number one, I went to NABJ. That was in Cleveland, Ohio. Me, my husband, Milani, we drove up. It took us about 16 hours to get there, about 16 to 18 hours coming back. Had to make quite a few stops. We have a little baby girl. She's almost 4 months at the time you're watching this video. She's literally about to be 4 months old. Crazy. She is my pride and joy. Our pride and joy. We love her so much. She did fantastic on the car ride there. She did great during the convention. On our drive back, I would give her about a 7 out of 10. It was a little bit harder coming back because we left in the daytime and she wanted to be awake, but she also doesn't like being awake for long periods of time in her car seat, if that makes sense. So eventually she went to sleep and it was good and the ride was great. But yeah, we had a great time at NABJ. Couple of things that stood out to me at NABJ is that I didn't realize how much people can relate to me until I started talking about my story, which is crazy. I didn't think people cared about my story. But I am a military baby and I used to move around a lot growing up as a kid. And maybe not as much as most military families, but we moved around quite a bit compared to the average civilian. And it has taught me so much about it taught me so much about losing friendships and bouncing back from losing friendships and still pursuing success and not allowing things to fall off in your life to derail you. And not allowing things in your life to derail you from reaching success. Because things are going to happen. You just got to keep going. And you can't let little things in your life stop you from reaching your goals and becoming who you are meant and purposed to be. So NABJ was great. Number two, we just came back at the time I'm recording this from a trip to Mississippi. So we've had back-to-back trips. And I'm hoping now we can settle down, get settled in our home, get things organized so that I can actually get better and back on a schedule of editing and uploading podcast episodes, getting Milani on a decent schedule. Want to get all of my things going and back in order. This week I also have drill, so I will be back to my military drill weekends once a month starting this weekend. By the time you're watching this episode, I've already done my first drill weekend post maternity leave. I'll let you guys know how that went in next Monday's episode. Mississippi was great. We spent time with Cash's side of the family. Milani got to meet a lot of his side of the family for the very first time. Her great-grandma, her great-grandpa, reunited with her grandmother, who she did meet before, and her other great-grandma on Cash's mom's side. But much of Cash's dad's side, Milani met for the very first time. So it was so precious, so beautiful. I'll insert some pictures for those of you who are watching on YouTube. But if you're listening, go to YouTube and you can see the pictures. Okay, so to today's episode. I just wanted to mention this as my intro because I thought that this really got me thinking. Have you ever noticed how sometimes people don't like you for no real reason? Yeah. Or how friendships can fade and suddenly you feel like you've lost support. Well, in today's episode, I want to talk about how that has zero impact on your success unless you give it power. Because at the end of the day, if you're walking in your purpose and being a good person, that's what matters most. People's approval does not equal your progress. Let me say that again. People's approval does not equal your progress. I have made it so far in my life in a very short period of time because I don't let what people think about me stop me from getting where I gotta go. Because honey, I have a family, I have a kid, I have a husband, and I have goals in my life. One day I want to retire and I want to live a peaceful life and still give back to my community. People's thoughts and opinions about me is only going to derail me from reaching those goals, okay? Losing friends, respect, or popularity doesn't cancel the grind you've already put in. If you've been working hard on not just reaching your goals and achieving success, if you've been working hard on cultivating you, I mean the inner work, the mind, the heart, the spirit, the soul, if you've been working on you, you will have progress in your life. Share a quick personal example, and ABJ is one of them. I want to share that. And ABJ opened my eyes up to a lot. I am a very, very deep person, but I don't like to be deep all the time. But most times I'm a very deep person, meaning I look, I think, I analyze, I am a thinker, a critical thinker, a creative. My mind is always at work. Always. Even when I'm trying to shut it down, it's still at work. And that has its positive and its negative. So I notice things in detail a lot of times. In ABJ, I kind of had my feelings hurt just a little bit. I was on a panel and someone stood up and spoke about how we should be more careful with social media. And I definitely agree with that. But it was so hard listening to it in that moment and trying to reflect on how I want to approach social media moving forward, because it literally had me second guessing my entire life and all the hard work I put in to growing my platform and trying to reach specific goals. Everything I do is for a purpose in my life. I don't just do stuff to be doing stuff. Honey. I do stuff because I see where I want to go and that is going to take me there. That's why I do it. So hearing someone that I highly respected talk a little bit about how we have to be so careful about social media wasn't what really hurt me. What hurt me was that I felt like I was almost targeted, and nothing against the person that was standing up, sharing their thoughts and their comments on it. It was just how I interpreted it. And in that moment, I was so hurt. But looking back, I'm like, Tania, there are some things that you can do better. So I'm one of those people where I take things with a grain of salt and I kind of sit on it. And I was going to do a podcast episode right after, but I didn't want that podcast episode to be out of my emotions and my feelings. So I took a step back. I analyzed how I felt. And then I started thinking of ways that I can do better and be better and hopefully get people to perceive me in the way and in the positive light that I want people to perceive me. I don't want people to think and look at my social media that I just do things because. I want to inspire people first. I want to motivate people. I want to uplift people. I want to encourage people. 2, I want to build my platform, but I want it to be in a purposeful way. I'm not just posting to just inspire people. No, I want to reach more people to inspire, right? That's a goal of mine. 3, I truly want to build in all aspects and areas of my life. So social media is just the foundation for me to grow on other in other areas of my life. It's teaching me discipline, consistency, all of that. And I go to say this because I use someone's criticism as a way to encourage me instead of just completely thinking about that person belittling me and trying to tear me down. And that could have been their point or their goal, but I didn't allow that to happen. And it may not have been their goal. I don't really know the true intention behind that. But I bring up NABJ as a way for me to just reflect on how when people don't really accept you for who you are or like you, that doesn't mean that you have to stop. Because for a minute, I felt that I needed to stop because of what this person thought about what I was doing. And all I really needed to do was pivot and do it in a better way. So don't allow the negativity of people and people that don't like you and the comments that people might give you or say in your life, because we all have those family members that are super harsh with their words, quick to criticize, slow to encourage. And I want to encourage the young person out there who may be just showing up and learning along the way, because it's so hard to show up. It's even harder to show up, make a mistake, pivot, and keep going. And so I am making this podcast episode specifically to encourage the person who feels like people don't like them, that they're losing friends or relationships, and that they think that all of these things are going to have a negative impact on where they end up in life, because it doesn't have to. Learn, pivot, pursue. Those are my 3 steps in life. Learn, pivot, pursue it. Again, you can learn over and over and over how to do things in a better way based on the criticism, whether meant for good or bad, whether meant to uplift you or to belittle you. You can learn how to pivot and continue pursuing your purpose in a better way than you previously were. I just feel like in this world, so many people are so quick to criticize, to belittle, to give you feedback that's not always positive first. In a society where people are always trying to, and I wouldn't say always, but 90% of the time when people talk to us, especially young people and adults are talking to young people, I think they forget, and sometimes myself as well, we forget to encourage people before we tell them any kind of negative feedback. All people want in this life is to feel valued, loved, seen, heard, respected. And so as I'm growing up and I'm learning this, I'm learning how to encourage other people who may, get under my skin, and not to be so quick to criticize them, because in that moment I felt criticized and I felt like I was doing everything wrong. And then I wanted to just stop completely. But then I was reminded, and God reminded me, hey, Tania, you're never going to reach where you want to be if you allow one little piece of criticism make you feel like all the work that you've put in was bad this entire time. Because all that you're doing is not bad, but it may not all be right either. So I'm making this episode to encourage you. If you're out there, if you felt like someone has belittled you, if someone has made you feel small in any kind of way, reevaluate the things that you're doing. It may not all be right, but it definitely isn't all wrong. You are doing something when you show up, even if you're showing up and that means making mistakes. I want to encourage you to keep showing up, but to show up better, to show up with more purpose, to step back, reevaluate, pivot, and pursue. I hope this episode truly brings out the soldier in you, because listen, the soldier in me is coming out more and more and more. I am becoming such a strong person mentally, physically, emotionally, and I love that. And I want you to do the same. We can all be strong in all areas of our life. Women, men, I think we have got to learn how to bounce back from anything that tears us down in this world, because, honey, like I said in the beginning, somebody not liking you does not stop your progress. Keep working on you, keep becoming a better person, and you will continue to strive and lean towards success. No matter who falls off along the way, honey. Nobody who has ever fallen out of my life has stopped me from reaching goals, has stopped me from becoming the person I'm meant to be and the person that God has meant to be. God has meant me to be. So I'm just letting you know, I don't care who has not supported you, who has not loved you. You have to love and support you first. Yeah, you have to love and support you first. And when you do that, things will fall into place. I think you'll be really surprised on where you end up. Thank you for watching this another episode of the Soldier in Me podcast. I really do pray that the Soldier in Me has encouraged you and brought out the soldier in you. You are a true soldier. You are strong. You are mighty. You are smart. And you are capable. I'll see you guys in another episode. I love you. Bye.